Well, those are the little blinker lights I got from Amazon. The They come with this little Velcro top strap and it claps on. They come with extra batteries. They're like large uh, watch batteries, or CMOS batteries for a motherboard. Anyway, so I was thinking about maybe putting that roof rack on. I don't know. It looks like it might rain, but I just wanted to come and see if I could fit these. Those ones, the front ones and the rear ones, you probably can't really see it blinking too much. Maybe a little bit, but they're blinking. They're pretty bright. They just don't show up on the camera probably. But they're marker lights. The green one here, I just put it here because I didn't really have nowhere to put it. You could get you some two-sided tape or something. And probably put it like right here or something. There's other kinds. I just got these. These were very cheap. I don't even think they were $20. But I'll post some pictures up when I edit this of other kayaks I looked at that are similar. And I'm just going to post like sit-in kayaks. I looked at sit-on kayaks too. But it's kind of the length, width, depth, hull design, and weight and build quality all factored in. Price was not really an issue. But the only kayaks that are really lighter than this, except for maybe some inflatables, is, which the inflatables are more like paddle boards, inflatable paddle boards, and maybe about 20, some 30 pounds. The kayaks though that are lighter are not as durable. They're made of a different material with thermo molding or something like that. But they're not as durable. They're lighter. They're usually on premium kayaks for recreational and racing and sport. And they're usually more expensive, but they're not as durable, which, because they're not as durable, it wouldn't serve the purpose I have. This was basically, there's some other close contenders, but they weigh a little bit more. Some of them 20 more pounds, roughly the same size. There is one other one that's close. It's the Oldstown Heron 9XT. Heron 9XT. It's 9 foot. It's a 9-footer, but the opening isn't quite as large, but it has the rod holders. What was it? I'll show a picture of it. I think it's like 36 pounds or 30 pounds. Old Town's a good brand. There's another brand, Vibe Kayaks. It's Shaka 100. It's similar to this. It might be a little wider. It has a different hull design, but it does have molded in handles, which is good. It is about 52 pounds, I think, so it's a little heavier. There's some, and I believe it has actually like a seat instead of like a mold and then pads. But I just really couldn't find anything else that met that criteria that I could come across, and I looked for a while. And there are other options, like for a motor. They have some little electric motors. If you wanted to, you could put on this. It's a Bixby is one of them. It's only a 10-pound kit. You can get a little bit larger battery kit. It's like $1,200 or $1,300, but it's only 10 pounds. A trolling motor, a small trolling motor, without the battery is like 20 pounds, which this kayak can handle that. I know, I've seen it done, but you know, I didn't really plan on motorizing that one, but I did some more research because I don't have any real experience with kayaks, but I have learned from very experienced kayakers, paddlers, um, that do have over 30 years of experience with it. And one of the things I may want to upgrade is my paddle. Better, better design, lighter weight, carbon fiber shaft. I mean, you got premium ones and you got some in between, but a lighter weight paddle. I'll just have to put that one maybe to test and see if it serves my needs. It might, but they do make better paddles, and that can make difference because the details. It doesn't have to be a premium, performance paddle, but something a little bit better, than what I got. I got like a $60 one, and you're talking about almost $200, a little over $200 for a better one. They go up to like 500 and some, but you might be able to get a good one right under the $200 mark. There's Aqua Bound, there's Bending Branch, and like Wilderness System, they make kayaks. They have some carbon fiber better paddles. They're expensive too, but Aqua Bound and Bending Branch, they're pretty decent. And there's a more kind of like a different type of paddle called a Greenland paddle. It looks different, usually a little more expensive too, but I don't know if I'd need that. But upgrading my paddle will probably be one thing that I do. I don't know when, but probably a different life jacket for paddling that's better suited, for range of motion. Like I said, for bow hunting, I still want to put like some kind of sound dampening material. And for this seat back here, because this right here, it makes a little bit of noise. Let's put that right there. I mean, that's just, I don't know how this thing really adjusts. I didn't really have no literature with it that I seen. I'll see if I can get online, but I mean, it ain't like real durable construction per se, but it doesn't really have to be, and that keeps the weight down. But I mean, like I said before in my other video, there's so many options. There's so many things you could do to improve that. Gel inserts, even padded extra padding for this. You could figure out something with this. I mean, and you can get this kayak cheaper than what I paid for it, but especially at this time of the year, it's almost September, so it's getting a little cooler here. I feel the wind in Wisconsin, and this is actually an accessory for like bolt-on anchors, anchor points, but they do have like a cockpit cover shield. I guess it's supposed to keep the sun off your legs and splash when you're paddling, so that's an added benefit. But there's a lot of things you can do with this little kayak. And you can improve the rod holders, like I said. And I don't know. Seems okay. I don't know how much weight I could put on this. I mean, it's a very light kayak. And I think it's like 325 weight capacity. The 10.5, this is 9.5. The 10.5 is like 7 pounds heavier. So, out of everything I looked at, and I looked at them, I looked at New Canoe, I looked at Bonafide, I looked at the more expensive fishing kayak brands, Wilderness Systems, and but I mean, and you know, initially I was looking at like a New Canoe because you could throw a deer on that and on like the U10 or the Unlimited, and you put your little trolling motor on, but it's not a good paddler. And they're 60 some, 66, 67 pounds without that. You gotta think if you put a trolling motor on, it's another 20, 30 pounds. It depends on how much the battery weighs. You know, it accumulate weight, which I keep that in mind with this one, not to add a lot. Because like I said, if I'm paddling through those sloughs, that water table goes up and down in those sloughs a lot. And it changes from year to year. So if it gets down real low, I have to get out and I have to drag this thing, which is another reason why I opted for this type of material at this weight. It's lightweight and it's durable, so I can tow it through those areas. If I had to tow it 20 yards and then get back, and I can go for a mile. I mean, that's just the way it is in them sloughs. It's packable like that. Now, the deer issue, which, like I mentioned before in my other video, a harness or a tow belt and a tow line, either another kayak, I can get a cheap kayak. It's actually bigger than this. It's a 10-footer for $200. It's one of them Pelican ones, but all you do is you put the deer on it and tow it. I could do that, or get a better inflatable like I have that has a little bit higher weight capacity. It's not very expensive, maybe under $30. Because I don't know if the weight capacity of that Explorer 200 Intex that I have from Amazon, I bought a couple years ago, never used. I don't know if it handled 250, 275 in weight for a deer. So that'll have to be reevaluated. Plus, I don't know that it would pull that well, so it might be a little rough that way. But which is another small kayak would probably be a better way to go. But maybe another one just like this, just take two of them, and if I kill a deer, then just put the other one inside that one and tow it that way. I could do that. But so anyways, that's one thing I could do. Yeah, it'd be nice to have another kayak, take somebody with me if they wanted to go. But I don't know how this performs yet. I gotta really get out there and test it and see what it can and can't do, and if I need something that's like this but a little bit different hull design, cause the Vibe that's comparable to this but heavier has more of a V-shape line down the middle, and it doesn't have those three I don't know if you call it the keel, but or just like the rudder. Anyways, it has just one, so it may lean more a little bit. It may cut through the water better, but it's about 16 pounds heavier. Yeah, 16. No, it's either 16 or 13 pounds heavier. It's not a whole lot, but depends on how far you plan to take it and how much dragging you have to do. Get me a little tow line, that shouldn't be no issue. Yeah, I mean, I like this little kayak. So far, like I said, haven't put it to use. I don't know how comfortable this would be after many hours. I don't know if it's like a pop pin design, because you could probably, I know you can put another cushion on top of it and somehow strap onto this, or just take this off and put a aftermarket one on. That might be a lot better. That can make a difference. yeah, as far as mounting a bow here or something, I don't really want to do much drilling, if any, on this thing. If I can avoid it, maybe like a two-sided tape or something. If I wanted to take it off, I could. Wouldn't really hurt it. Though you can get them track mounts, there's all kinds of different options for that, and then accessories and mounts for rod holders and whatever else, even paddle holders. You could do that and find you something to mount the bow that way. But you just have to work around a scenario like if you're paddling and you do see a deer and you want to shoot from the kayak, assuming you've practiced sitting in that position and the yardage and stuff like that, and you've did all that, you got to take into consideration obstructions. I might need to get somewhere where I can actually put the paddle here, and I can just lay the paddle here on one side or the other, in a case like that, easily, conveniently, and quietly. But if I keep this kayak, or not kayak, but this paddle, or if I use this paddle, I may option to wrap it in something that'll make it quieter, so that if I do sit it down, I don't have to put it on the sound dampening up on the top here, and when it hits that, it's still quiet. So I might do something like that. I should have got my boots. I don't think film. That's the type of foot pegs that's on it. They're a little, wow, that'll probably need some addressing. Doesn't seem like a premium plastic, but it may not necessarily need to be. And actually, I think you can get aftermarket ones. And, they're bolted on right here. And if you want to upgrade them, you just get better ones. Probably a seat too. So you could, improve upon, the standard equipment if you wanted to. I think this is a good multi-purpose kayak for one person. You can fish out of it, you can hunt out of it, you can do recreational kayaking out of it. I think this is more what you call your keel, but like a guard here for hitting, and on the rear, which there's 3 of them here, so you could put 3 little, like for dragging, and then, because most of it's going to be on that side. Could do that, keeping in mind not to add too much weight. So you can do stuff like that with it. It should be very easy. Should be very easy to put this up on a car. That's another thing, picking it up or putting it in a truck or whatever you would use it for. But this kayak's been out a long time, but there's other options, but this one seems to be the best to meet my criteria. And you can get it between $400 and $600. I think there's a tan one for some reason. It's like $650. Just plain tan. They got a green one. Like I said, the Mesa Camo one. It's was cheaper than this one. I seen a 10.5 cheaper than this one. The same, but so there's the price. There ain't really any difference between this one and the little bit larger one. If you're a taller individual, I'm 5'6", 5'6.5", about 175, 180. That fluctuates. But I haven't rode in it, so I can't tell you But I don't think this weekend, maybe tomorrow, I don't think, or maybe next weekend, I'll actually take it somewhere and test it out a little bit. Could have did it today, but I didn't go to bed till late. Yeah. Let's see what else. Oh, yeah, like these are going to be your marker lights, but it wouldn't probably be a bad idea to have you a little mount light, maybe put it somewhere here where it's more in reach. You know, so like a spotlight you would shine, especially if it's real early in the morning or real late in the evening during bow season. You're going in a couple miles or so, or a few miles in, and you're coming out and it's dark. You have, like, other than the marker lights, which I wear a headlamp, so, and it's pretty bright, so it may be sufficient. I already have that. Yeah. And I don't know anytime soon, but I'll probably get some rods. Couple decent rods, because I don't even have any up here. And we'll see how that works as is. And then we'll make some adjustments, which there's a lot of options. You can get creative to fix that. But, I mean, unless you want to take a whole bunch of gear, I think it's got a cutout for those crates. So you can put a crate here. I don't know if a yak attack would fit. It might. But, you know, me, I wouldn't take nothing more than a little tackle that would basically fit right here, probably. I mean, you could put a rangefinder and a you could put all kinds of stuff on it if you wanted to. But I think it's a neat little kayak so far. I've even went and looked at them after the fact, and I just still can't find anything that's quite as meets all the specs that I need. There's some close contenders, like I said, and the price is about the same for the ones that, you know, meet my criteria. It's those fishing kayaks and sit on tops and stuff that start going up in price, which, you know, the sit on tops, they got something similar to this, even by perception. They got the Tribe 9.5, same length. It's a little heavier. It's got the molded design for seat, and it's got molded foot pegs, which is not as good as the adjustable ones for paddling. So that might be something. If you'd rather sit on one, that would be a good one to look at. Tribe has some. There's a lot of them. They're usually the ones I couldn't find none of the same weight range. All of them were pretty much a little bit heavier than this. But I like the sit-in ones. And if you get one, take into consideration, it's not absolutely necessary. You know, unless you have a disability or something. The bulkhead, if you can find one with the bulkhead design, and it's got like a storage bin, like the Wilderness Systems and Old Town, some of them, they have that design. It gives you a little bit more buoyancy. You're not going to really sink these. You swamp them, and they weigh down with the water. But if you just practice and stuff. I mean, if you flip it over, if you literally flip it over on the water, and there's videos on YouTube you can watch that'll kind of show you. You're not going to be able to, if the water's deep, you're not going to be able to lift it. So what you need to do is you need to climb up over on it and then use your weight to flip it over. This one you could do that with. If it's a little bit wider kayak or bigger one, then what you do is you tie you like a strap or something like this, give you enough length, and when it flips over, you can swim around to the other side and you throw that strap on that other side and you come back around to this side. and you use that strap and pull yourself over to give you more leverage, and it rolls the kayak back over. You can also make a little foot stirrup in it. That way, if you have trouble climbing up on the kayak, it'll give you a place to put your foot and help you, and then you roll it over. Once you get it back this way, just want to do one quick movement of getting up on it, and then, it's not likely to happen. I know a lot of people get concerned, but you gotta understand, some of these kayaks, they tip over like this, but they ain't going all the way. It's when you put a lot of leverage and weight, you push it past the threshold. But it just takes a little balancing practice. If you're new to it and getting into it, conventional wisdom, just go somewhere safe where you got somebody else with you or something, and practice those scenarios. Like if something happened, if you practice flipping it over, they recommend with a new kayak or something, just go out and flip it over on purpose and see how hard it is, and see what you think. Oh, I can do this, I can do that, and then make it a lot easier. That way, that's not an issue. That's not a concern. You already went through it. You already figured it out. You're ready. You're prepared. And also, if you have a bunch of stuff with you, make sure that you tested that it's secure in case that happens. You don't lose $300 or $400 in gear. Of course, I'm not the only one that knows this. I'm just bringing it to your attention if it's new to you. If you just want it for recreational, there's a lot of different type of recreational kayaks out there. But there's some from Walmart. The Lifetime brand is probably better than like Pelican or Sun Dolphin. To each their own. The one I looked at, I didn't upload the video of, that Lifetime Tahoma or something like that. It's close in color to this. It's a light blue, but it's like 50 pounds, and it's a sit-on molded. But I read some reviews on it, and people say the stepper holes that's behind the seat, they have a tendency for the water to get in on you and get you wet, and it's very uncomfortable. The molded foot pegs in it, which is probably comparable with a lot of them that have the pre-molded foot pegs, it only allows for you to get part of your foot, not the whole part of the ball of your foot. You want really the ball of your foot for better paddling. Like I said, I plan on maybe getting better paddle. Maybe not right now, but probably a carbon fiber shaft that is lighter weight. It's more efficient. They say if you do a lot of paddling, which I don't have a motor, it'll make a difference over the long run. It's lighter weight. It's easier strokes. It makes a difference. So that is something I might invest in later, maybe sooner than later. I don't know. It just depends. Another thing, you want to make sure you don't get too long or too short. So that's something you need to look into. There's like methods of determining that. They measure paddles in centimeters, so you have to. It's going to be from like 220 centimeters to like 260 centimeters. I think the one I have is 230. But if you can get one that adjusts between like 220 to 240 or whatever, that allows for you to adjust it so that you can find something that fits right. I also encourage you to, if you're new to it and you don't know, or maybe you don't know a lot of it, but you think you know, go look at some YouTube instructional videos on how to paddle a kayak and learn more about it before you get in the water. There's a lot of experienced Paddle TV is a good one, and there's a variety of others. They'll talk about the different types of kayaks. Just a lot of stuff I've learned over the years. As it stands for my needs, not having paddled in the water, basing on what other people's experience is, that I can actually see them using it. This one, I couldn't find anything else better than this one for my reasons. Now, if you had wanted something that you planned to put a motor on, there may be better options for that type of full-fledged fishing kayak, where you put a trolling motor, electric motor, a small outboard, and you want to carry a bunch of fishing rods. You want to sit on top, maybe a more comfortable seat, something that has more weight capacity. Yeah, like that Oldstown, the paddle version, Sportsman 106. They make a mount for that. That'd be more of a, it'll paddle. It's their paddle version. It'll paddle, but it probably won't paddle as good as this. Has a higher weight capacity. It's a sit on top. I'm pretty sure that has a more comfortable seat. Higher weight capacity. You can put more weight in it. I don't know what the overall weight capacity is, but it's got a higher weight capacity. They have a pedal version. They have a Minn Kota motor version, which they go up a couple thousand after that. But that's a good one, and it was only like $700 from Shield, so it just didn't. 77 pounds. It said 107 pounds, but on their website it says 77 pounds. That sounds about more right. It's a 10.5, so it's another foot and something longer. It'd be a nice kayak. It's a nice kayak. It's a proven platform. It's a good quality kayak. It's just, it doesn't meet my needs. It don't serve my needs. But that's a good kayak. A sitting kayak for that size and that price. That's a really good price for that kayak. That's a good kayak for what it's designed for. Well, that'll probably conclude it. Other kayaks that would compete with that one before I close it would be like the Bonafide SS107. Wilderness Systems, the Tarpon. A Tarpon, I believe is what it's called. 105 or 100, something like that. 10 footers. Some people like 12 footers. They have a 12-footer version of basically all those. Let's see, Native. I don't remember. Let's see. Vibe has some. What's some other brands? Old Town, Wilderness Systems, Vibe, Native. Got like Feel Free. You have Perception. They have some good ones too, Perception. What else was there? There's a lot of them though. Those are better branded ones that's molded. Now you got like a Stellar and what's the name of that other one? Leo kayaks that have that. They're higher end touring sporting kayaks. They're like $3,000. But the bottoms of them, I mean, they aren't going to be like, you ain't going to want it. You want to treat it more delicate. You're going to treat it like it's several $1,000s because it's not as durable. They get lightweight. They're nice kayaks. They'll cut through the water good and everything, maneuver better, but they're not really meant for situations like what I plan to use this one for. It's just me talking about the kayak I got, the reasons why I got it. I will look at ways to stay dry when I'm bow hunting because the water is going to be cold. And we'll see what I remedy that with. But as it stands, yeah, I'm probably going to put some kind of padding here. Maybe some padding here. Maybe, I don't know. It's premature. It's early to determine that. And a better paddle. But, you know, that'll be some improvements I think I can make. I think I can make this work and do what I need it to. With maybe another one of these or something to pull the deer out with. But the raft may be a good idea because I already have that raft and I already have a portable pump. So all I need is the tow belt and the tow line. So, well, that's part 3 of this kayak. I'll probably come up with a part 4 about installing the actual rack system, the kind I got and everything. Maybe I'll record me doing that. And if any updates come, I'll just put an update with the video. So I will see you again here next time on the ground.